Good day, residents of Bulawayo. My name is Njabulo Sibanda. I'm an engineer with the Engineering Services Department in the branch of roads. I will give you a brief overview of our roads department. The roads department is basically made up of two units, mainly the planning unit, which does all the planning and the project management tendering systems. Then we have the operations unit, which then goes to the ground and does the actual works as and when prescribed by the planning unit. The city of Bulawayo has a total road network of above 2,400 kilometers. And when we last did a road condition survey, the results showed us that more than 75% of our roads in the city had outlived their design life. This meant that there was an urgent need for us to engage in various maintenance programs to try and convert that 75% road network into a good rideable state. The study at that time also showed us that the city would require an amount in the region of 700 million for us to rehabilitate and maintain this 75% road network that was in a bad state. If you look at that, if that were translated to be a 10-year program, we would probably be looking at about 70 million a year, which is not feasible. But the department continues then to try and move with the available funding to try and get the city's roads rideable and to try and improve on their state. There are basically two types of maintenance systems that we are meant to do. There is what they call periodic maintenance, which mainly deals with the roads that have surpassed good rideability that would need excess work. The works involved in periodic maintenance include road resealing, road overlays, and in some cases reconstruction of sections that have failed dismally. Then there are projects to do with what we call periodic maintenance, where we find that our road is still rideable and we want to preserve the rideability of that road. We engage issues like pothole patching. We engage issues like road regraveling and regrading so as to keep the roads rideable. Currently, Council has three funding options for these road routine and periodic maintenance projects. The first funding that the Council receives is from the Zimbabwe National Road Authority. Currently, the nation is running a national emergency road repair program, which is slated for a period of 3 years. And through that program, the ministry, through Zinara, is availing funds for the rehabilitation or resuscitation of some of the roads in a bad state. As of the year 2021, Council received 625 million Zimbabwean dollars from the government to kickstart the project in its first phase. We are currently in the second phase of the project, and the government has availed through the emergency road program 338 million for us to continue on this program. That is the first funding model. The second funding model involves devolution funds, which are also received from the government. This year, the roads department has been allocated a budget of 400 million to undertake these periodic and routine maintenance projects. The third funding project that Council considers for any road projects would be from its own sources. These are funds that are collected and distributed through rates and bills as revenue from Council. So the amount of money received is directly dependent on the amount of collections that councils receive through its rates and bills from the residents of the city. You will concur with me that under the current harsh conditions there is very minimal that council diverts through its own funds, as collection bases are not very well at the moment. Moving on to that, we have managed to go out to tender and have finished quite a number of sections through the emergency road repair programs. We are talking about sections like Cochlean Avenue, we are talking about sections like Nketa Drive, Omatipeni Road, that have all been completed through the roads rehabilitation program. We still have quite a number of projects that are ongoing, and about 2 or 3 other projects that are currently on hold due to challenges that have emanated through project execution. The problems really being brought about by the escalating or the ever-changing exchange controls that are affecting the country. You will also be informed that the major input in our roads is bituminous material, or bitumen in layman's term, what they call tar. Currently, the country has no producers for this material, and all that is received is imported mainly from the Southern African region. So in many a case, council has to engage stakeholders or external players to supply this bituminous material, as council has no leeway to procure directly from outside the country. This greatly affects the output of our programs, as there are sometimes delays in acquiring the forex by our stakeholders to import this material. And secondly, because of the ever escalating exchange rates, we are bound to always run across challenges when prices are necessarily changing in between ordering and supply. To further compound on that, the bitumen or tar that is acquired from outside countries is further used for the production of what we call premix materials. The premix materials in the cold form is what we used for our pothole patching activities. The council has various programs to engage in pothole patching, and there's also a program that involves community groups to assist in that facet. We also receive hot mix from this that is produced from this bitumen that is used for projects that are related with overlays that cover roads that are in serious distress conditions. You will be informed that currently the city has only one company that is able to produce these admixtures with the production of bitumen. And you will be informed that the country is currently overstretched, as they are the only company in the region that is supplying all local road authorities with the premix. This has resulted in major programs like our pothole patching programs failing this year. As you will notice, we have not embarked on that project, and it is a hope that if there is a second patching machine, probably those patches can be produced and these interventions are engaged. There are various other community projects that do not involve the bituminous work. We have programs that have to do with the drain clearing. Time and again before the rainy season, we will always try and clear drains so that we do away with flash flooding and ponding in our residences to try and protect the properties of the residents. We also have projects to do with stone pitching or drain lining, the lining of these drains in our households so that they become permanent features and do not continuously extend into our homesteads. All these projects are, at the moment, seem to be failing as funds to engage in these are becoming a challenge. You will notice, residents of Bulawayo, that there is a very huge gap between the funding requirements for these maintenance programs and the availed funds. You'll be reminded that we are talking about 700 million, but if we are to look at the funds that we receive annually, they are a stone's throw for what we can achieve. At the same time, the road network continues to deteriorate because of this funding gap. Council has taken it upon itself to try and maintain rideability of roads in all our areas. Like I have said, the emergency road program covers roads in all sectors of the city. We have programs like regrading and regraveling, which is meant to achieve at least 3 kilometers of road done every year in every ward in the city. The project has failed to kick off due to the unavailability of locally priced fuel, which has become a challenge because the council can only collect revenue in local currency. But we have, however, moved a step further and tried to engage private players and contractors to try and see how best they can approach that project. So in the interim, the department is in the process of supplying heaps of gravel at request from the residents through the ward councillors. We have been going around and dumping gravel after the residents have pledged that they will spread that gravel. The gravel is meant for the use of for roads patching only, not for individual use. And we have discovered that in many cases we go and dump the gravel, but then the players that have promised to go and spread it will take longer than necessary till that gravel is abused in other forms. We want to reiterate that this is a temporary move that can only improve rideability of our roads at the moment. And we ask that when the residents do come over and ask for that gravel, they do stick to their side of the bargain, that they will go on and spread it to improve the road rideability. The council is also open to various forms of engagement with all the stakeholders in the city. The council runs a program called Adopt a Road, where we have approached industry as well as residents in some instances to adopt roads in front of them or in their use, and voluntarily fund the reconstruction or the rehabilitation of those sections. Council also engages in PPP projects where some players are willing to come up with materials to assist in the reconstruction of some of our failed sections, and the council will not hesitate to contribute to the little that they have, be it machinery or be it gravel, in the reconstruction or the redoing of the earthworks of these such roads. The department is open to everyone with any suggestion and any assistance that they are willing to take. We have seen such instances with companies like Davis Granite, who have taken over some junctions in the city and intersections. We are still entertaining requests from National Foods on sections like Trent Road to follow up on this adapter road and the PPP proposals. To improve the 75% of the road network that is in poor state, the city requires an approximate amount of 700 million United States dollars. But I will inform you that the current fundings availed to council as of the year 2021, the National Road Authority, Zinara, availed 625 million Zimbabwean dollars, And as of the 2022 calendar year, we have received 338 million Zimbabwean dollars to effect these works. These amounts still remain a stone's throw to our intentions to try and improve the road network. This creates very challenges for us in engaging stakeholders in assisting us with repair works, as in many cases, even our contractors have resorted to asking for payment in forex, which council does not receive, and the council is not billing its residents. The Roads Department appeals and still continues to investigate the ever-changing trends and the new technologies on roadworks. Currently, the department has flouted a tender on expressions of interest for companies or individuals that might have new technologies that they have seen, heard, or would want us to try out to try and prolong the design life or as well as repair the existing roads. The council has considered many other options, and we have even engaged in PPPs like the current parking project, whose funds are ring-fenced for roads projects in and around the city.